Hello guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a toggle switch with the Arduino. And so first I want to go ahead and explain what is a toggle switch. A toggle switch is basically when you would press a button and, for example, like an LED would turn on, you let go of it, it would stay on, and then you press it again and then it will turn off, and you let go of it, it would stay off, and you could continue pressing it, turn on, press it again, it turns off, and continue on. That's basically what a toggle switch is. And so we're gonna go ahead and make that in this video. And so here is the circuit. And so as you can see, we have a LED and button. And so first I'm gonna go ahead and explain how we connect up the LED. And so first we have the positive side of the LED that is connected to a 330 ohm resistor. This resistor can be anywhere between 200 ohms up to 470 ohms. And then this other side of this resistor is going to be connected to pin 13. And then the cathode of the LED is going to be connected to the ground rail to the breadboard. And so then the whole ground rail is going to be connected to G&D on the Arduino. And so then we're going to go ahead and move over to the button. And so one side of the button is connected to pin 12, and then the other side of it is connected to ground. We don't have a pull-up or pull-down resistor in here because we're going to be activating the onboard pull-up resistor in the Arduino. So I'm going to show you how to do that in the code. And so basically that is the circuit. So go ahead and connect this up, and then we are going to continue. Okay, so basically this is the code for the project. This is all right here on how to make a toggle switch. And so first we have like a lot of variables up here, so I'm gonna go through all of them. And so the first two variables are basically just defining the pin numbers. We're just putting them into variables so that the code is more readable and understandable. So first pin 12, which is connected to one side of the button, is going to be put into button pin. And then 13, which is the number of the pin that is connected to the anode side of the LED. And that value we're gonna put into LED pin. And so then the next variable, we have a button new equals 1 and button old equals 1. These are both integers. And so what this is for is to see the state of what the LED is at. So first we gotta see what it was at and what it is at now to see if we just press the button or just let it go. Because what happens is the button gives us 0 or 1 depending on if we're pressing or not pressing the button. And so basically when we're not pressing the button, it's going to be giving us a 1, and when we are, it's going to be giving us a 0. And so that's what these variables are going to be holding. And whenever these variables are equal to something completely different from each other, then we know we have just done something with the button. And you're going to see more on how we use these variables later on in the code. And so then we have an unsigned long variable called last millis. This variable is going to be holding the millis on when we have just pressed the button, so we know how long we need to wait until the bounce issue from buttons, as you may know, passes. And so then the next variable is going to be a bool, which is a Boolean value, which is true and false. And so then we have LED state. So this is just going to tell us if the LED is on or off. And so basically if it's true, then of course the LED is going to be on. If it's false, then the LED is going to be off. And so by default, we set it to false. So then we have bool TF equals false. And so this will tell us if we have not gone into the if statement since we have pressed the button. Because when we press the button, we want to go in the if statement only once. After we let go of the button and we click it again, then we want to go back in there. We only want to do it once. You'll see more about this variable later on in the code as well. But right now, just remember that it holds a true and a false value. That's it. And so then we have constant. That means this value is not going to be changed in our code. That's what this constant means. And we do dt equals 50, which means just delay time. This is just a short delay time on how long we need to wait for the bounce issue to pass. And so we're just going to wait 50 milliseconds, which is only a very little bit of time, just enough time for that bounce issue to pass. Okay, so then we go into the void setup. We set up our pins that we are using. And so the first pin is a button pin, which is connected to pin 12. And that's going to be an input underscore pull up. So basically we're saying this value is going to be, this pin is going to be an input, but also we're going to activate the pull up resistor that is on this pin for the button, because as you know, buttons need a pull up or pull down resistors to work. And we didn't incorporate a pull up or pull down resistor in our circuit, so we have to activate the one that's in the Arduino. And so then we go ahead and define LED pin, which is going to be an output. and then we just get right out of the void setup. So then we go into the void loop, and we immediately, right when we get in there, we go ahead and read a button pin. So that's what we do here, digital read, telling the Arduino that we're going to be reading a digital value from a digital pin, and the pin is going to be a button pin, which is pin 12. And whatever value it gets from this pin is going to be put into button new. So basically this value is just going to be giving us a 1 and a 0 depending on if we're pressing it or not. And so then we come over down here to this if statement, and we say if button new equals 1 and button old equals 0, they come to this if statement. And so basically what this is we update button new. That's the button that we update. We bring the new value that we are getting from the button. But button old, we update that with the new value that's now getting old, and we're about to update the new value. So basically what this is that this is the previous value that we had last time we went through this loop. This is the value we have now. And if that value is 1, which means we're not pressing the button, and the previous value was 0, which means we were pressing the button, then that means we have just let go of the button. So what we do in this if statement is we do last millis equals millis. So basically we're just getting the millis value and we're putting it into last millis to get the time on when we just let go of the LED, so we know how long we need to stay out of this if statement, which is where we do all the action of turning on and off the LED. And so then we do TF equals true to make sure we only come into this if statement only once every single time we press this button. So yeah, that is what this if statement does. And so then we come out of this if statement after we do all that, and we do if button new equals 1. So if button new is still continuing to be 1, which means we're still not pressing the button in 50 milliseconds, then we know that we should come into this if statement, and millis minus the last millis is greater than dt, which is greater than the delay time, which is 50 milliseconds. So basically what this is this right here, millis minus last millis, is going to give us the time on how long ago we came into this statement. And if that time is greater than 50 milliseconds, then we'll come into this if statement. And TF is equal to true. Then we'll come to this if statement. So basically, we come into this if statement and do LED state. Okay, so this is going to be telling us what state the LED is at, if it's on or off. And we're going to do LED state equals not LED state. So basically, the exclamation point means not. So this basically reverses what the current LED state is at. So if LED state is true, then it's going to be false. If it's false, then it's going to be true. So it's going to be doing every other one every single time we come into this if statement. And then we do digital write LED pin, which is pin 13, and then LED state, which if LED state is true, then digital write will bright up the LED, because you can also type in true to mean high for the digital write statement. Also, you could do 1 for true as well, and it will work too. It will light up the LED. And then we just do TF equals false to make sure we don't come into this if statement until we come into this if statement again, which means we have fully pressed and let go of the button another time. So then we'll go ahead and make button old equal to button new, because button new is becoming old. So we're going to put that value into button old, and then go ahead and come back up to this void loop and update button new. And it's going to continue this over and over again. You can just press the toggle switch over and over again and it'll turn on and off the LED. And so basically that is the code. Now we're going to go ahead and see our project in action. Okay, so now here is the project. As you can see, we have a LED, a button, and our Arduino. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and press the button, and then I'm going to go ahead and let go, and the LED turns on. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to press it, I'm going to let go, and the LED turns off. So I'm going to turn on and off, on and off, on and off. So basically that is the project. If you have any questions, consider giving this video a like. Also comment down below if you have any questions, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all and have a great day. Bye.